Hi guys, so I've already did all of my face makeup. I put on my foundation, I contoured, I did my concealer, and I set my under eye area as well. And I went ahead and primed my eyelids with my concealer. I did not use any Urban Decay primer today, so I just went ahead and went into my Morphe palette, and I just chose a blending shade. It doesn't matter which one you use, I just used a really light brown, and as always I'm using my fluffy blending brush. Now I'm going to go into my full exposure palette, and I'm going to do a mixture between, it's a cool toned grayish shade as well as a neutral light blending shade. And sorry, I just did that really sloppily there, and somehow I got my scarf caught up in with lifting it up, so that was really awkward, and I'm sorry. But I'm just going to be taking the same blending brush that I just used for the start out shade, and I'm just going to blend that a little bit lower into the crease, more in depth. I'm going to go into my Morphe palette, and I'm going to use the darkest brown shade in there, and then I'm going to be using a smaller blending brush to apply this, and I'm going to go right into the crease, and be sure not to bring it up really far because it's going to make you look really tired, and you don't want a smoky eye to be all up into your eyebrow because you don't want to be looking tired. You want to be looking wide awake and ready to go. Same brush that I used for the starting out shades, and I'm just going over everything because you know how it is in the makeup world. You gotta blend, girl, okay? I am now going to take a really small brush. It's from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and I'm going to take a matte black shade. You can do any matte black shade. I just chose the one from my Morphe palette. I'm going to go into my Hard Candy High Definition Metallic Eyeshadow, and I'm going to be using this as a base. I use this as a base whenever I'm using a sparkly shade because it just makes it so much more pigmented and opaque. So that's why I chose to go in with this. You can do it without a base, but it's just not going to be as pigmented. Then we're going to let it dry out. And while I'm letting this dry, I'm going to go ahead and go into my blush, and I'm going to be using my BH Cosmetics Glamorous Blush Palette as always. And before I started this video, I went ahead and did my face makeup, and I went ahead and contoured with a eyeshadow, and I used the one from my Morphe palette, and it's the second to last darkest brown shade. It has kind of an ashy tone to it because I'm so white. I went ahead and chose that shade because my other shades that I was contouring with was a little bit too orangey for my liking, so I went ahead and went in with that. I'm just going to go back over my contour because I wanted it to be a little bit more intense since I'm doing a smoky eye. I don't know why, I just always think that an intense contour looks very good with this smoky eye. So yeah, just went ahead and did that, and we're good to go. Now I'm going to move on to the next step, and that is putting on my lid shade, going back into the full exposure palette. And it's like a taupey, kind of has greenish to it, which sounds ugly, but yeah, I went ahead and chose this color, and I packed that all over the lid, and I was being sure to pat it in circular motions on the outside of the lid color, so it blended in with the very dark colors, so there's no harsh lines from where we put the base down. So just make sure everything's all nice and blended out. Now I'm just taking the e.l.f. small tapered powder brush, and I just touched up underneath my eye area just in case I had a little bit of fallout from the glittery shades. I'm going into my BH Cosmetics Bombshell palette, and this is a bronzer, but I take the really bright white shade and I use this as my inner corner highlight as well as my brow bone highlight. In with the other brushes that I used from lightest to darkest just to blend everything out, so everything was back to being dark again how I like it. You don't have to do this step, you can blend it out to your liking. I just wanted it to be a little bit darker. To the lower lash line, and I'm going to be going back into the full exposure palette, and I'm going to be taking, it's like a dark blue shimmery color, it's like a navy blue, and I took a small tapered brush from BH Cosmetics and I just lined my lower lash line with that. It looks a little bit weird now because I don't have the eyeliner on, but once I get all the eyeliner and everything on, the look will be tied together. Tight lining with my CoverGirl black eyeliner, and then after that I'm going to move on to my liquid eyeliner, and that is my e.l.f. liquid liner. This is my favorite eyeliner. It's $1 and it stays on all day and it's very, very black, so you can't beat that. So I'm going to put on my eyeliner and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. So I went ahead and brought a wing into my inner corner. I just wanted it to be very, very dramatic. So after that I went ahead and lined my lash, or not my lash line, my waterline with black. You could do any color you wanted. There's that fly again. But you could do white, like a nude skin color. You could do a blue, like a navy blue, whatever you wanted. So now I'm going to do my mascara, and then I am going to be back. To be wearing false eyelashes today, and these are from Walmart. I think they're called Kiss 01. So I went ahead and popped those on, and now it's lipstick time, and I'm using my MAC Viva Glam Rihanna 2 lipstick. And the reason why I'm using this is because I felt that it would go very, very well with the color that I chose to put on the lid, because it has the same iridescence to it. So I put that on, and after I do that, I went ahead and put my deepest cherry Maybelline lipstick over it, just because it looks a little bit weird by itself. I think you could leave it like this and look a little bit crazy for Halloween, whatever you wanted. And so I put that over top, and then after that I'm going to be topping it off with my Gerard Cosmetics Seduction really, really dark red lipstick, or lip gloss.